Alrighty, what's going on, guys? CryptoClover here. I'm going to do a quick little market update here in Vietnam. So this is a Texaco Tower. This is like right outside the. You can kind of see here. They're building this like brand new building right over here. This is like District 2 is what they call it. So they have this huge kind of like Chinese development, and they've got and they have this like giant tower they're building in the background. It's going to be the tallest one. And a little bit here, but you can see a little bit of the inside of the bar here. So yeah, I know it's pretty late for a lot of you guys back in the States, so I apologize for that. Yeah, I was trying to get going here a little bit earlier, but it is what it is. So let me go ahead and while I'm waiting for some people to get on, I'm going to go ahead and talk about a couple of things that are trending. Overall, you know, this is kind of your midweek cryptocurrency trading right now. You have the market is pretty much kind of moving in a sideways pattern. You don't have a whole lot of coins that are really trending. The one thing that I was kind of seeing is as you kind of coming down the list a little bit, you're starting to look at what I call, you know, the mid-market coins. You've got, you know, you've got several coins that are you know, they're doing like 10-15% gains in kind of like that, you know, less than a $1 billion market cap, between like $1 billion and $500 million market cap. So there's several here that are doing they're doing pretty well. So I'm gonna show that to you guys here in a sec. Let me check in with the chat here a little bit. What's going on, Kinetic? H3's last video. I think I had heard a rumor about that. I haven't had a chance to check it out. You'll laugh your ass off. Let's take a look. Oh, I think they were going in. They were looking at. I think they were doing something on BitConnect, right? Yeah, I think I'd heard something about that. I don't know much about this, but someone mentioned it to me. Oh, how to lose your life savings with cryptocurrency? Got Carlos on here. Holy cow, 1.3 million views. You guys see this? 1.3 million views, and it posted, you know, just about an hour ago. So you guys can see here. So I don't have the volume on here. Oops. Well, anyways, I'll have to check it out here and report back to you guys in a little bit. But let's take a look at some of the things that are going on here. So I'm gonna move this. Bitcoin's really been kind of staying between 10,000 and 11,000. So it's been kind of not really trending a whole lot, but you can see here that not a whole lot of movement in some of the top coins. Stellar Lumens actually. So I want to kind of move this to the BTC so we can kind of get a better indicator of kind of what's going on. So Stellar Lumens is trending a little bit, has been up, but for the most part, like a lot of the activity that we're seeing here is pretty bland, and that's pretty typical of kind of a Wednesday, Tuesday time frame. So Wednesday here, Tuesday back in the States, and you know, not a whole lot. And when you're kind of looking at the $1 billion market coins, but as you start to move down the list a little bit, there's some of the things I wanted to talk about. So Populous has been up about, you know, it's up 13%. You're seeing Komodo was another one. I just recently picked up some Komodo, and it's been interesting to kind of see you know, some of the growth of some of the privacy coins here lately. Pivx had a huge correction, so we saw that really, you know, spike with the introduction into Binance, and now it's come, you know, it's basically corrected quite a bit, so it's down about 20%. Golem, H-share is one that kind of like pops up in the market from time to time, so that's one that I've been interested in getting into that. I wanted to pick some. Probably right now is maybe not the best time. But when I see a huge correction in H-share, that's one I'm gonna get into a little bit here. And then kind of going down the list a little bit, you can see here, you know, you've got Komodo, you've got Pivx, you've got Golem, H-share. That's one that I'm gonna get into a little bit here. And then kind of going down the list a little bit, you can see here, you've got Golem, H-share. That's one that I'm gonna get into a little bit here. And then kind of going down the list a little bit, Crypto Next. This is one that was up pretty big. You can kind of see here it spiked a little bit before, and moving down the list, not a whole lot of activity. So, I mean, not a whole lot of trading really, going on right now. Taking a look at some of the volumes of trading right now. The top cryptocurrency here is Ripple. We were seeing EOS the other day was doing like 2 billion in trading in BitHum, and right now, kind of looking at the exchanges, we're seeing Ripple is a top cryptocurrency pair being traded right now in BitHum, and Ethereum, Bitcoin. Interesting to see VeChain is doing almost 100 million of trading in Binance alone. Tron is another one that's trending there, and moving down the list a little bit, Ripple is also trending in Upbit. So you're seeing Ripple trading right now pretty heavily in Korea. So there's a chance that we might see prices come up a little bit as we're seeing that. And if we take a look here at the overall activity in the market, Ethereum is up, as trading a little bit more at about 13%. Tether is up, and typically this is one we'll see when there's a little bit of uncertainty in the market, and you're seeing people kind of get in with a little bit of the uncertainty that we're having here. The big one we're seeing right now is Ripple volumes are really starting to come up quite a bit. It's the top cryptocurrency pair being traded, and volumes are almost up at about 10%. So EOS at 6% has actually kind of come down a little bit. This activity that we're seeing was almost double the other day in BitHum, and just kind of looking down the list, Bitcoin Cash is trending, Quantum, Litecoin, Tron, Cardano, Neo, and Stellar Lumens, which has come up quite a bit in activity. So let me check into the chat a little bit. What's going on? Rage Against the Machine. Think of why. Have to pay big contacts. Yeah, I know. I have no patience. It's 1:44 a.m. right now. Yeah. Apologies. I guess you must be on the East Coast. There's another Ponzi. Yeah, I'm not getting into war. I mean, I think one of the things that might be, and what I've seen with some of those lending type coins, is they can be a good opportunity to get into the coin, not necessarily the lending platform, because we've seen the price of the coins come up quite a bit. Let's take a look at that. This at least gives you a little bit of liquidity, but again, it is extremely volatile, and you're seeing it down 50% today. See that? I mean, this is the problem that you have, with some of these platforms. So it spiked here, just recently, where the price was, almost 160 bucks, where it was like, kind of looking back on its history, it was right around $20 or so in early December, and this is kind of all of the activity. So if you got in maybe a little bit earlier, you could have done pretty well. So there was a huge surge right here, and I think part of this was this was January 15th, January 16th. This was right around the same time as what we had, the time frame we had seen where with the fallout of Bitcoin. We saw it really come down. Part of this had to do with what we were seeing in just the lending platforms in general. A little bit of a surgence right here. I think this has had a little bit to do with some of the more YouTube personalities that were getting online and promoting it a little bit, but man, it has really dived down. Let's see where it's trading. Just coin exchange. So that's, unfortunately for me, is kind of a big red flag when you're not really you don't have any market liquidity. You're not really seeing it traded very much anywhere, and that's a pretty significant. It was 160 bucks, just not too long ago. 170 back on January 15th, and now we're seeing it about $40. So your knowledge of blockchain is embarrassing. All you know is Ponzi. Yeah, well, I guess that would be your opinion. I mean, I've, you know, uh, BitConnect was one of the only platforms that I was kind of in that I've been promoting, and part of that was because everyone was kind of doing well at the time. It's it is what it is at this point. I'm looking at this from from my perspective, so take it as it is. Everyone is looking for a BitConnect replacement, yeah. And I think for me, I'm going the opposite direction. Like, I'm not really trying to get into anything that is going to be leading people in the wrong path. I think right now lending platforms are way too risky. I think that we need to see what's going to happen with regulators. Fucking internet just cut out. Now it's just totally frozen. Sorry, guys. I'm glad you read that, Clover. We love the haters too. I entertain them a little bit, probably more than some people. I mean, if they got a point or something to say, like I've mentioned this before, like a lot of people are kind of like kind of critical of like a guy like BCC Ponzi and some of the stuff he's been kind of putting out and whatnot. But I think he's a smart guy. I think he's got interesting points. But I think there's he's I get into it a little bit with him. And I like hearing what he's got to say. What do you think of BitConnect X? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at how it was doing today. See if it's sold out today. I know it sold out yesterday. Home block coin. Okay. Sold out again. So take a look at this. So here's mine. You can see, they're selling out. So I think there was one saying is a lot of people are, you're seeing BCC coin at $15, but your $50 valuation in the BitConnect X ICO platform. So you're getting times, 10 times the valuation if you're going to BitConnect. That's a little bit scary for me in terms of like when the BitConnect X actually hits the market, how it's going to fare. I don't know if it's going to come down 10x, like essentially $50 to $5, but I think it's going to come down a little bit. I don't see it as really retaining the $50 valuation, at least initially. It really kind of depends on the functionality of what we're seeing. And you kind of see, there was a huge, we saw a lot of news going on, but I think that there's some interesting trends with how things might move with the exchange platform. And I think that's something that, at least the BitConnect community seems to be focusing on at this point, because at least that's kind of the bright spot with what's, with all the negativity that we've been seeing. But let's look at what was it, Homecoin? Let me take a look at that real quick. Homecoin, real estate agent coin, real estate agents coin, smart home building. Easiest way to make the most money. Tons of house calls. So I think it's interesting to kind of see the the real estate. The one we had seen that was, you know, that someone had pointed out to me here a little bit was the B platform, which is kind of like the Air, that, you know, the cryptocurrency Airbnb. If, you know, if there was one, let's take a look at that real quick. Way too many black box crypto platforms. Yeah, this B token, I kind of like this one. I think I want to get into this B token right here. Oh, it's coming up here, or the registration's ending. But this one, someone had pointed this out on my stream, and I kind of liking it now. Now that I've kind of looked into it a little bit more. You know, I saw a few other things that were trending on YouTube. I watched a couple of videos on it. So I think I'm gonna be trying to get into this a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, just, I don't think I'm really gonna be going, you know, very heavy on anything. You know, if it's not a major market coin, if it's not in the top 10, top 15, you know, I'm not going to be putting more than like $1,000 into it. I think right now, I think diversification, like getting into a lot of different coins, getting into a lot of different platforms is a much better way to kind of go about things. Like it's like the I think with the futures market and the price points that we're seeing with Bitcoin, I think that it could be a little bit risky because what we're seeing with the influence of like the futures market and how that kind of affects price. I think that some of the altcoins are a little bit more harbored from some of the price fluctuations that we're getting with the volatility in the market. Spread your risk. Listen, Clover, this is what we need. We need you to start a lending platform so we know it ain't going nowhere, and we'll back you with funds quarter to keep it running. Yes, I'm your COO. Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm gonna be taking small baby steps in that direction. I've been talking about it quite a bit. I've got some people that I think would be good people to kind of help with that platform. I don't know if it's something I can do, you know, all myself. So I'm going to be seeing if there's some people that I can collaborate with. I need to, you know, be meeting some more people, you know, face to face, and kind of having some of those types of relationships before I start really getting into something and having a little bit of trust coming up. But I'm interested in it. Like I'm thinking that would be a really good for me to kind of get into and start, because I've got some background in there, and I really would like to get into that a little bit more. Thoughts on Litecoin? Yeah, I was kind of looking into that a little bit. Now, the thing with Litecoin is historically it's been at that 0.01 BTC price, and so I think what we had seen was like there was a recent surge. When did that happen? Let me look at the charts. There was a recent surge where it came up to 0.02 BTC, and this was when was this? This was December, right around Christmas. Okay, and so this was kind of, you know, pretty much what I've been saying with Litecoin is that I was anticipating that we're going to slowly see the price kind of diminish, and that's kind of what we have seen if you've kind of been following me and following my streams. And so the BTC price was at a 0.02, and it's kind of been retracting, and currently we're seeing at about 0.016, 0.015. I think it could go a little bit lower. You're seeing the volumes kind of diminish here. So you see surges at certain times, but looking over the history, we just had this recent surge. And so it's plateaued a little bit in price, but the volumes are kind of diminishing and going away. It's still a really good coin to transact with. However, I think the problem that I have with something like Litecoin is that in the cryptocurrency space, there tends to be that are really good from a like like techies, developers, that sort of thing, will get into like something like Litecoin and really talk, pretty positively about it, but it doesn't really hit the mainstream per se. So it's not really something that that gets maybe the market attention. And it's also one, like Litecoin is one that's just it's really widely distributed when you're looking at the market overall. It's not really in any one particular exchange. 0.015, 0.01. I mean, that's kind of where I see it. I think it's going to kind of progressively kind of come down. Like I get into Litecoin a little bit and use it more as kind of like a transactional coin if I have to, but it's something I want to hold a whole lot of money in. I don't see it as one that's really going to, take off in the market, at least right now. I could be wrong. I think there's better coins to get into. I think some of the other market coins, I'd rather have my money in some of those coins. Tron. Let's take a look at Tron. I still haven't bought any Tron, but I saw it as kind of a bubble, and that's kind of what we're seeing. We're looking at this. See this right here? Nothing. It's been on the market, kind of since September, and then boom! Like this is really all the activity. It's kind of Binance, CoinNest, in the kind of the primarily in Binance. You can look at this as about 50% of the market. CoinNest and Liqui, that's kind of giving it about 70% there. But it's getting a little bit more market distribution. It's being a little bit more widely accepted. I mean, primarily, like when we were seeing this huge jump back here, this is because we were seeing. I mean, it was the top cryptocurrency pair being traded back here, January 6th, January 5th timeframe. So the BTC price really just surged. But now you're seeing, let's take a look at the last month. Now you're really seeing it just kind of slowly retract, kind of get shorted. You got another surge in volume right here, pumped a little bit, and now it's still continuing that trend where it's coming down. I think it's going to be good to get into. Maybe I would say maybe another week or two. Maybe the prices come down a little bit, and I think that might be a good time to get in. I think the price might start to kind of bottom out right about then. Devor is up almost 4x since I checked it 10 minutes ago. I don't know if those if that's going to be represented in CoinMarketCap. I don't know if they're that if the API is that. Oh yeah, interesting. Yeah, so we're just seeing at $40. Now it's almost up to $55. So yeah, it just shot up. It's like the last day here. There was a huge drop in price here, and volumes are really kind of coming up here. Volumes really starting to surge. So yeah, it was about $40 not too long ago, and then just jumped up quite a bit. So I'm gonna keep this stream a little bit shorter. I'm probably only gonna be on for another 5 or 10 minutes. So the Clover effect. What's staking? So I'm getting ready to do a little bit more. There's some guys here that are really good with staking, and so I want to learn from those guys before I give you guys a more kind of in-depth tutorial and how to really kind of get into that. I think one of the problems that I'm having, I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but I've got my Bitcoin or the BitConnect QT wallet here, and I'm having some issues and problems with it. I can't even open it, and so I haven't really messed with it, a whole lot. But my whole plan and my recommendation for a lot of you guys who've been watching me is basically to right now, BitConnect is just, it is what it is, and I recommend people just stake their coins and just forget about it for 6 months. Just focus on the other markets, focus on some other getting at other kind of cryptocurrency opportunities. There might be some ICOs and things like that. I'm gonna be looking in, maybe doing some more in-depth things on. Right now, I mean, I've just been traveling so much, it's been hard for me to kind of do the necessary research to give you guys more in-depth looks into some of these markets. And so for the most part, what I'm doing right now is just, for the most part, just giving you guys kind of an overall perspective of what's going on in the market, kind of the different trends and things like that. And that's been my focus. But I want to do a little bit more in-depth kind of kind of giving more insights and kind of doing a little bit more due diligence when it comes to some of these kind of smaller platforms. Right now, I think the best thing to do is to get into kind of the larger billion-dollar market cap coins and some of the mid-market coins. I kind of see that as the best way to kind of get into it right now. NFC, an American outfit with a trade. Let's take a look at this. NLC Nucleus coin. Seeing here, Bitcoin Growth Bot, and Nucleus coin, lending, trading. Yeah, cryptocurrency ecosystem currently under a significant amount of scrutiny from regulatory bodies around the world. Unregulated nature of ICOs. They're trying to, treat them as securities, and they're trying to do some more clampdowns. However, this is kind of a global phenomenon, and so the way that these are going to be interpreted is going to be different with each some of these different platforms. So, but let's take a look. Let's take a look at a little bit at the news. Here, Coinbase has been making a killing. Overshooting its revenue goal by 6%, making about $1 billion. So they don't even need venture capital anymore. So looks like Huobi is offering platform utility coin. So interesting. They want to get into a utility coin. They don't necessarily want it to be considered a security in any way, shape, or form. So there's going to be different ways that people are going to be kind of trying to get around some of these different things. But this is kind of what we're seeing in the news coming out of Korea. So that's just a little bit of what's in. Yeah, H3H3 made a video on BitConnect. I'll have to check that out. How to technically trade as a niche unfulfilled, hint your audience have been asking. So I think one of the things that I've been meeting with some people here that are pretty good traders. They're good at doing some of the charting analysis, things to kind of give you guys insight. I think one of the things that you do have to look at is news can hit the market and can severely affect prices of coins. We just saw that yesterday with Pivx. Like Pivx gets added to Binance, everyone starts buying. So like that's not really going to necessarily show up in a charting. And so I think one of the things I'm looking at doing is getting a little bit more help and resources to really kind of scour the news outlets and cryptocurrency news outlets to see kind of what's trending and things that are happening in the space. And you really need to start there. You really need to start with the news and things that are coming out, and then use that as a barometer for on the market and how you should at least look at some of the opportunity with what's going on. I think that you see when some news comes out and everyone just starts piling into good news or bad news, depending on what the what the current trend is, and then based on that activity, then I think it's better to kind of look at maybe some charting or some more analytical data to make more calculated trades. And there's one of the things that I was kind of looking at is automating that, so you can if you anticipate that things are kind of heading in a sideways market, maybe you've got a bullish market, maybe you have a bearish market, then you can actually set something up to kind of trade on some of those indicators. So that's where I'm kind of going. That's what I want to start getting into. I'm working with some people to kind of set that up. So I'll be giving you guys kind of an update on that. You're good at knowing the substance behind the coin beyond emotional volatility. Yeah. There's history with a lot of these coins too, and there's also history with kind of what we've seen, traditionally with like some coins that kind of tend to come up in the market, and we'll see that from time to time where coins will really start to trend for a while. They'll really, really explode, like just that the Tron example is a good one. So there was a lot of hype, a lot of trading behind that, a lot of people getting into it, especially in Asia. Predominantly that volume is in Binance, and it's kind of dissipated a little bit and it's come down. But there is a little bit of history there, so it basically kind of pumped in the market, and once the market settles out a little bit, it has a little bit of history of being at a certain price point. So there's opportunity there when the market bottoms out a little bit, and that's I think where I would get in. Weber, what's going on? I think a good crypto education website is needed. Go to one, I guess you could say. I mean, there's a lot of information out there, a lot of information on the internet, but it's hard to know what to trust now. I'm in talks with some people that are interested in kind of doing like a conscientious crypto course in terms of really kind of a very conservative way of kind of looking at cryptocurrency, so people are kind of getting into it the right way and understanding security, understanding staking, if you're going to get into some of those things. Getting into some of the more technical aspects is not necessarily for everyone, yeah. What cryptos are you most excited about right now? Good question. Because I was kind of getting into some of these. I like EOS. I like Neo. All the privacy coins, Dash, Monero, Zcash. You're getting Binance coin was one that I is still doing really well. It's up 10%. Kind of going down the list here a little bit. Komodo, another privacy coin. I think that one's got some potential. So those are some ones I'm kind of getting into, and I'm investing in, and that's kind of where I see some opportunity. Smart Cash is another one. This is one that jumped up in the market. I'm gonna show this to you guys. Smart Cash was one that was like, let's take a look at this. Like, this one just exploded, you see here, not too long ago. Look at that. Boom. A lot of volume. Where was that volume? Hit BTC, Coin Exchange. I don't know if it's Crypto Bridge. That one's a little bit different. But there's a lot of volume trading right here. Let's take a look at Crypto Bridge. It's number one here, about 20%. Bridge coin. Where's Bridge coin? Let's take a look. 165 million in market valuation. Recently, really come up here. Where is it? You know, it's all in. So this looks similar to like a Binance coin. They're doing the same thing. Like, you know, for those of you guys, like, I'm going to use it a little bit of analogy here. You know, I've got a football background, and in the NFL, it's referred to as a cookie cutter system. So everyone watches film. Everyone watches what everyone else is doing, and if something works, they copy it. And you know, you've seen some YouTube personalities that actually come out and even said that. It's like what they do is like they're looking at what's trending in the market, and they're just copying it. And I kind of see that with BitConnect X. I really think what they saw, you saw Binance really just kind of come out of nowhere and done really well, and now they're the #1 exchange in the world. And part of the biggest aspect of the innovation that they were doing was they had their own coin, and that was a much better way to kind of transact within their own ecosystem, and there are some different advantages to that. I think now this bridge coin might be an interesting one that's kind of doing the same thing, you know, with their exchange. Let's take a look. The exchange to see it's doing about, well, it's only doing about 2.5 million in trading the last 24 hours. And most of that's in Smart Cash and Bridgecoin, Litecoin. So a lot of other kind of shit coins, I guess, if you want to call them that. But yeah, let me check. Oops. There's best staking websites. You buying Lisk? Yeah. I'll put a little bit in a Lisk. That one was like, it was only really being traded, and I believe it was Bittrex. So like, yeah. I remember this coin, a little while ago. It was only really being traded in Bittrex, and there were times that it had really kind of surged in the market. And it was really back in the mid kind of 2016 time frame. This is kind of back when I was really kind of just trading in Bittrex, Poloniex, maybe a few other exchanges during 2016, 2017, but really kind of bottomed out. We didn't really see much from it, and now it's kind of come up. To look at the last 7 days. So it really dipped here. Is that January 17th? And now it's kind of come up and plateaued in price a little bit. Fucking internet, man. Sorry guys, I'm always kind of fighting the internet. I think it's good. So Solaris. Let's take a look at Solaris. Yeah, amazing view. Yeah, it's real nice here. You can see this pretty sweet little new complex and everything right over here. But yeah, let's take a look at this. It's really only being traded in KuCoin, a coin exchange. And that crypto bridge, again, so this is an exchange that's kind of coming up. Let's take a mental note of that. I think their coin might be a good one. But just recently here, it's just last month. Let's get a little bit better. So yeah, right around the beginning of this year, it really kind of surged and taken off, and part of that was the volumes demand has me a little bit worried of it. It's kind of where I'm seeing things. So maybe a couple more questions. Check out for today. Solaris has a master node. Somebody's crushing Devore. Went from $20 to $56 in this stream. Yeah, let's let's check in again. Now it's at 88 bucks. That's crazy. That is a lot of price volatility. Devore whales playing. Gotta love a Forex trade in 23 minutes. No, I'm not in China. This is Saigon here. So I'll give you guys a quick little tour of this spot here, and then I think I'm gonna check out. But they got a pretty sweet little helipad bar over here. So this is a helicopter pad. Flag flying. And so you saw a lot of flags, flying and whatnot. But yeah, got a sweet little bar, so you guys can kind of see. Big city. City of about 20 million people. Different like bar, and then just gonna do a little loop around the bar. The restaurant here is really nice. It's a nice little spot to kind of hang out. Enough room for your helicopter. Yeah, you can fly in for a drink. So I got a little DJ station here. All right. You ready to check out? All right, guys. Yeah, sorry for the internet issues. Maybe try to get on a spot where I got a little bit more of a stable internet connection. But like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys on the next one.